I don't want to use for everything. He did it. But he eventually ended up the store moved to Chicago. I didn't move. I stayed because we're in
I'll give you 3 guesses where we are.
It was a big day, the day I got on that California Limited. I just as free and happy, you know, but I failed. I think it's important to have a good, hard failure.
We're back at the Walt Disney Family Museum.
It's the ultimate Walt Disney Museum.
My favorite place in San Francisco.
Look at all this vintage Mickey Mouse stuff, Allie.
Some of it is so cute and fun.
Some of it's really funny and vintage looking and cool.
And some of it is just a little bit terrifying.
Check this out over here. This is one of my favorite things.
Probably the coolest thing in the museum.
The earliest known drawings of Mickey Mouse. Allie, look. The earliest Mickey.
That is so crazy right there. I wonder what that single piece of paper is worth in dollars.
1928. That's just plain crazy.
Mickey Mouse joke right there.
Speaking of plain crazy, look at this. These are drawings from the actual first Mickey Mouse cartoon ever. Plain crazy. Not only do they have drawings from the first Mickey Mouse cartoon ever, there's also sketches from Steamboat Freaking Willie right there.
Dude, if you're a Disney fan, or even just an animation fan, or even just a person with 2 eyes and a heart,
that will fascinate you. That is so freaking cool. I love this museum. This place is amazing.
It's one of the best museums I've been in that has to do with any subject, anything, anywhere.
But this one just happens to also cover one of my favorite subjects.
Walt freaking Disney. Not just the man, but also the work.
Old school stuff like Three Little Pigs, Silly Symphonies, Mickey Mouse, Donald and Pluto and Goofy. How they brought color to animation.
How they brought sound to animation.
It's all in here.
Seriously, you've got to come and check out this museum if you're ever anywhere even near San Francisco. It's worth it just for this.
Now, I did a whole video reviewing this entire museum a couple of years ago.
It's posted on my other channel, my old channel, so you can go check it out there.
Things haven't really changed that much since the last time I was here filming this entire place.
So I'm not even going to try to show you all of this stuff. Anyways, I tried to show you all this stuff in that other video, and it's impossible. This place is too big.
Look at that. There's one of the multi-plane cameras there. All kinds of history on the strike at Disney Studios, World War II.
All of Walt Disney's greatest struggles and greatest triumphs.
This place is amazing. Everything from concept artwork, backgrounds, and maquettes. You can learn a lot about the production of animated and live-action movies here.
Oh, here's one of my favorite rooms, though.
You guys know how I'm always talking about how Walt Disney loved miniatures. Well, here they are. A bunch of miniatures from Walt Disney's personal collection. Look at all these miniature tools right here.
And look at this. Miniature guns.
Miniature books. Miniature furniture. And a miniature songbook. Look at that. There's a picture of Walt Disney with Disneylandia. His little miniature display that came way before his theme park.
Oh, and here's a list Walt Disney wrote down of his favorite foods.
Roast chicken, spam and eggs.
Chili and beans.
This sounds like your favorite foods. Sounds like a list of your favorite foods. And then there's this. One of the most stunning views of the Golden Gate Bridge you can get in this whole city. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
And not just the view out there, but also the floor. Look at this floor right here.
Literally every time I come here, I trip out and obsess over these floors.
But I guess tripping out on the floor is better than tripping over the floor.
Ooh, and then here's another one of my favorite things. Look at this.
One of the benches from the Griffith Park merry-go-round, where Walt Disney says, while waiting for his daughters to finish riding on board, he came up with the idea for Disneyland.
And unlike the one in Disneyland, you can actually sit on this one.
Dude, you can even make out with your girlfriend on this one, Allie. Did you know that? And then best of all down here, the Disneyland room.
Look at this. I love this. This massive room all filled with the history
of the place I love most in the world. The place that feels the most like a home to me. Disneyland. Walt Disney's personal backyard train, the Carolwood Pacific.
And look, the engine.
The Lily Bell. named after his wife. Everything from Walt Disney's love of scale trains all the way to the opening day of Disneyland, the Disneyland TV show that funded it. It's all here, and all that history leads you down past the castle model, past the original Circle Vision camera, to the thing every Disney fan in the world probably wishes they had in their house. The ultimate Disneyland model. The Disneyland of Walt's imagination. Dude, that thing is bangarang. Look at Carousel of Progress, the rockets, People Mover, monorail, submarines, Autopia. I want to visit this Disneyland. Ooh, I spy the House of the Future over there. Look at this. Ooh, small world down there. Look at that. Old school Disneyland's Fantasyland. I wish I could just spend one day visiting old school Fantasyland. Look at that. There's the old motorboat ride. There's the little dock that I made that video on. Look at the Chicken of the Sea restaurant over there. Teacups. The old pack mule train. Mine train through nature's wonderland. Would you look at that? Old school Frontierland was definitely kind of better than modern Frontierland. At least in the sense that it was all more cohesively themed. This freaking model is amazing. Dude, you could spend hours and hours and hours looking at that. And believe me, I have. Hard to drag myself away, especially when they have stuff like the original Space Mountain concept, where the cars went outside.
And the growing use of automobiles.
Why can't I have one? Dude, this is the best part of this floor. So sparkly. And look, this is the Autopia car Bob Gurr was telling us about. This is the one that he built customized for Walt Disney so Walt could give it to his grandson. And this one didn't have a governor in it, which means that Christopher Miller, Walt's grandson, could go much faster than we could. Dude, how'd you like to have your own Autopia car as a kid? That's sick. Look at that thing. We need to get Bob Gurr on the phone. I demand he build me one. Dude, those things are stylish too. That is freaking awesome. Okay, like I said, it's just a short visit to the museum today. We don't have a lot of time. We've already spent all day in San Francisco. We don't have time to look at Mr. Lincoln's original skeleton or learn about audio animatronics. We don't have time to learn about the People Mover, the greatest invention ever, or hear about Mary Poppins, or take a look at Walt Disney's hat. Okay, just a second for Walt Disney's hats. His wife hated these hats, so he had one bronze in the shape of a heart for her. Sounds familiar. Allie hates one of my hats. Maybe I'll have that one bronze and a heart for you. And then the saddest room of all the rooms. Not too long ago was the day of the 50th anniversary since Walt Disney's death, and I went up to his grave and I kind of had a chance to pay my respects and honor the memory of my favorite guy. But this room is rough. This room is a tearjerker even when it's not the 50th anniversary of Walt's death. It's very sad. Okay, we can do this.
Walt Disney, the master of an entertainment empire, the most complete and influential showman of this generation, died. He was just 10 days past his 65th birthday.
Dude, what a tearjerker. The whole world mourned, but what a legacy. Whew, my eyes are sweaty with respect again. And then after that hallway, the final room with all these screens here, paying tribute to the different parts of Walt Disney's legacy. I never knew Walt Disney, but his work sure affected my life and millions of other people's, and I'm guessing some of your lives too. If I hadn't come to the Walt Disney Family Museum to learn more about Walt Disney, I would have never had my first kiss with you. So for me, obviously, Walt Disney had a big impact on my life. I thought I was done being emotional about the whole death of Walt after I said my piece to him on the 50th anniversary of his death. But that hallway, man, that hallway is brutal. Bob Gurr was telling me, and he used to work with Walt. He can't even look in that hallway. He's just got to put his head down and hurry through. Oh no, we've lingered too long. Come on, Allie, we gotta hurry. Don't worry, we'll be back at the museum. Hopefully not in too long. The main point of coming today at all was to renew my membership. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, there's still a little daylight left. So, we can still try to go somewhere Allie wants to go. Somewhere I've never actually been before. Oh, geez, it's cold out here. So long, Alcatraz. So long, Family Museum. All right, back in the car. Gotta hurry. Hopefully we'll still have enough light. Oh, no, but I forgot about this. Facing my fear. The Golden Gate Bridge!
I'm not a huge fan of bridges. Not even a casual fan of bridges, honestly.
Although I do have to admit, this bridge is rather glorious. What a view.
What a fun one.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Golden Gate Bridge! Golden Gate Bridge! Don't look down. Allie likes it. Allie thinks stuff like this is great. She thinks stuff like this is fantastic. Okay, we passed one tower.
I like how I'm going slower than everybody else because I'm scared.
Okay. Here's tower number 2.
Oh my gosh. Dude, look at the size of that. Look at the size of that tower. Almost to land. Almost to land. Almost to land.
Okay, I feel a little bit better now. I feel a little bit better now.
Okay, and off the bridge. Oh.
I wasn't really scared. I was just playing it up for the kids and the crowd, you know. Just playing up the drama for the kids, Allie. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, the sun is getting low, but I hope we can pull this off. Boy, it's beautiful over here.
See, this is why I don't like winter. It's not the coldness per se, although I don't really like that either. It's the short daylight hours.
But I think we just might make it if this light ever changes.
Whoa, this road really changed.
Whoa.
Getting excited, Tiny?
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. Up and away. Whoa. Almost there. Here we go, down, down, down the rabbit hole.
Dude, this is beautiful.
Holy cow, this is gorgeous out here. I think we're gonna make it out.
Oh, I think we're going to make it.
Dude, we just made it.
Oh, heck yeah. Allie's favorite thing in the whole world is trees.
So when I found out there were redwood trees only about 30 minutes from San Francisco,
I knew we at least had to try to go see them.
and it looks like we made it just in time.
In 30 minutes, this place will close, but at least we have 30 minutes to see this.
The Muir Woods National Monument.
Apparently, there used to be a lot of coast redwoods all around the area near San Francisco.
But they were almost all cut down for lumber. All except the trees in this hard-to-reach canyon, which were set aside partially by Teddy Roosevelt himself.
And that means that just over the Golden Gate Bridge from the city of San Francisco,
There's still a few of these massive ancient trees.
dude, would you look at the size of these massive trees?
Dude, those trees are 100% taller than the Matterhorn.
These are taller than most buildings where I live.
Look at the girth of some of these bad boys.
Many of these giant trees are over 1,000 years old. What do you think, Allie?
It's so pretty.
This is like church for you. You love this, don't you?
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful. Mostly I'm talking about Allie. Dude, I've just spent the last 24 hours and more inside of the city of San Francisco.
All cramped and loud and weird. And even though there's a lot of tourists out here on this boardwalk at the moment, this is still just such a contrast.
Dude, the beauty, the majesty, the sheer size.
Something about this is so beautiful. Almost like being in a cathedral a little bit.
Like, have you ever been to an old, like, really ancient cathedral?
Well, I've been in some pretty impressive ones, including Notre Dame. This is more impressive to me.
It's funny because I was thinking, oh, we made it with a little bit of daylight to spare.
Not even thinking about the fact that forests with giant trees in them are really dark even in the middle of the day.
Wow, dude, this is beautiful.
Also dark, kind of ominous, little bit spooky.
If there weren't so many people around and I didn't know this place was kind of surrounded by human habitation,
This place would be a little terrifying. I'd be a little bit worried about Bigfoot.
look at, I really don't want to believe in aliens. I don't want to believe in ghosts. Too scary.
But Bigfoot, I want to believe. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
Not at all? Do you even hope that Bigfoot's real?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Hey, your middle name is Paige. We're on the same page.
Dude, look at that. You could live inside there, Allie. Dude, it's so beautiful. I haven't seen this many trees since I was on the Endor moon.
Dude, this is amazing. Allie wants to take my picture on these stairs.
So up the stairs I go. Dude, look at that. These are the stairs to Bigfoot's house for sure.
See, Bigfoot's one of those things I really believed in and I really wanted to believe in until that show, Finding Bigfoot, was on TV. And the more I watched it, the less and less I believed.
Dude, I was so bummed out, man. I was so sad.
I just wanted to believe that giant ape men still roamed the forests of California. That's all I wanted to believe, Allie. See, I love the woods. I love the forest. I love the mountains.
but I don't like to be cold that much. I'm super not a fan of snow. I mean, I like looking at the snow. I just don't like being in the snow. So this time of year usually excludes me from going to see giant redwoods and forests like I like because it's so cold. And believe me when I say that at the moment out here, it's also very cold. But at least there was no snow and ice on the roads. So here I am. Beautiful. Look at you. Having fun? Yeah. I wasn't really a sports guy growing up. Once I was a teenager, I was into punk rock, I was into music and stuff. But ever since I was a kid, my parents would take us on these long road trips up through California, up into the forest. And then, of course, I was in Boy Scouts too, so we'd go up into the Sierras and we'd camp up in the mountains. I've always had a fascination for trees, but especially the giant sequoias and the giant redwoods that my parents would take me to see up the California coast. I think especially my mom, her whole family really had a green thumb. They all love to garden and do different stuff like that. But my dad's from Canada, so I attribute my love of exploration to him and my love of nature to my mother. Well, no, they both love nature and they both love exploration. It's like 50-50. So as a kid, I always loved coming places like this. I feel more comfortable somewhere like this than I do at, say, like a sporting event or something like that. This is more my speed. Later this year when it warms up, Oregon and Washington are definitely in the cards. At least I really hope so. So we should be seeing a lot more forests on this channel in 2017. And hopefully, if we get lucky, maybe even see Bigfoot. He's totally real. He just has to be real. You know why he has to be real? Because I want him to be real. He's real, Allie. Bigfoot's real. Oh my gosh, look at these trees. Look at those people down there over by the trunks of the trees. And look at how freaking high up these giant redwoods are going. No wonder people wanted to cut them down. There's a lot of lumber in those trees. But also no wonder people chain themselves to stuff like this to stop them from being cut down because these things are ancient. 1,000 years growing in this quiet forest valley. These trees are older than Yoda. You know, as we walked up, they were closing the visitor center, so the lady was like, oh, just wait a second, you won't have to pay. And she shut the window and stuff. But that also means that we didn't get a map. So, I hope we can figure out how to leave. Holy Zamolians. Look at the size of these trees! Dude, these things are unbelievable. Okay, I know you have no context for this. Allie, hug that tree. Get close to that tree. Look at the size of that tree! That tree is like 2 alleys and like maybe 50 alleys tall. I try to measure as many things as I can in alleys. Like, look at this. I got a pretty big wingspan, you know? I'm 6 feet tall. Look at this tree. Look at the size of this tree. Dude, and there's hundreds and hundreds of trees like that. Just in this one valley alone. Can you imagine what California looked like when those pioneers and settlers got here? Before we, you know, turned all of our rivers into concrete and logged all of our hills. I mean, nowadays we do sustainable foresting, sustainable logging. Can you imagine if we could go back in time and teach them, like, here's how you get lumber and paper and stuff, but in a way that's sustainable. Don't cut down all the old trees. You know, replant as many as you cut down, that kind of thing. Oh man, it'd be amazing. Well, I guess humanity learns just like I do. I learn from my mistakes. Golly, I was a little sad that we had to leave the Disney Family Museum so early. I was like, dang, there's so much cool stuff to show, but as much as I love that place, even it does not compare to something like this. I half thought because it was so close to San Francisco that this was going to be like 4 or 5 giant trees and like a little park, like a little patch of woods. I had no idea it would be like this. This is amazing. Dude, if you hollowed these trees out, I could lay down the length of my body inside these trees and there'd be room to spare. Ooh, like this. Look at the big hole in this one. You could just put a few build a stone wall around that, put a little chimney in there. Allie would live in there for the rest of her life. She'd be so happy. Although I think I'd rather live up in the trees, even though I'm afraid of heights. I think I'd rather live up in the tree like an Ewok rather than down in the tree, because I feel like there'd be less spiders up there than in there. That looks very spidery. Dude, I just keep expecting to hear all those Endor sounds, like those forest sounds, like woo, you know, little Ewok sounds, woo, yum, yum. Anyway, it's getting dark now. I'd like to put the camera down so that we can try to enjoy this little peaceful setting before we have to leave. So thank you for hanging out with us today, guys. I know the video is a little short. That's because we were running around like madmen all day, and we'd rather hang out with you for a little than not hang out with you at all. All right, come on, Allie. We've got to find Bigfoot before it gets completely dark. Then we'll have done our duty
and we can go home and sleep well. I am Bigfoot!
Told you he was real.